Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 Senior Awards Night. And welcome to all the families and friends watching from home. My name is Bob Jizokis, principal of Bedford High School. Seniors, you've put 12 years of work to get to this moment, and I want to recognize the fact that your work has been substantial. We hold the bar very high for Bedford High students, and by that we, I mean the Bedford community, your parents, and those of us that work and teach here at BHS. We want you to succeed as adults, so we ask a lot from you on your educational journey. Tonight you will be recognized for successfully reaching this part of that journey. These awards represent the serious work of the class of 2022. However, tonight is also a time to celebrate one another. Let's make a hubbub of laughter and cheering, do some yelling and clapping, and have fun. Let's get the evening started. Teachers and staff members, please join me on stage. Look at this fine group. Woohoo! Keep going a little. Keep going. Okay. Each year, one senior is selected to be awarded the BHS Mission Statement Award. This award recognizes a student who epitomizes the school's mission statement, which reads, Bedford High School is a community with a passion for learning, dedicated to educational excellence for all students and staff. We are committed to high standards and exceeding our comfortable limits. We advance skills, knowledge, critical thinking, and problem solving through a culture of rigor, relevance, relationships, and results. We foster habits of open inquiry and an understanding of our diverse world through a challenging curriculum that creates the connections integral to a nurturing and engaging learning environment. We believe in educating the whole person, so all members of Bedford High School embody respect, responsibility, integrity, and compassion with unique vision and voice. Through good citizenship and service to others, we strive to make positive contributions to the world. 6 seniors were nominated by the staff as candidates who embody our mission statement. The nominees included Seneca Baldi, Brooke Burke, Jack Dermody, Victoria Falvey, Elliot Frank, and Lily Mooney. The 2022 recipient of the BHS Mission Statement Award has been described time and again as one of the most caring people you could get to know. They don't come across as large and in charge, but rather as someone who is responsible, sticks to their commitments, and puts their compassion into action. Academically, she has challenged herself with both AP and IB courses and is an IB diploma student. Her overall GPA is a 4.43, and while it is a good reflection of who she is as a learner, she is also much, much more. She works at Starbucks and has throughout high school. She's been a student athlete all 4 years, a varsity member of cross country and track, and captain of the Nordic team this year. She's a member of DECA, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Club, the Key Club, Best Buddies, the Math Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, the Art Honor Society, and the National Honor Society. And maybe most importantly, she is the founder of the MedLife Club, which she started at the beginning of her sophomore year. And I highlight the MedLife Club because she has had to work hard to establish its membership and build it up. And most importantly, the MedLife Club and MedLife International provide healthcare and education to low-income communities. And it's a mission that matches well with the BHS mission. Lastly, I want to repeat that she is kind-hearted and cares for her fellow students. It's hard to be a busy person with lots of responsibilities, you all know this, and still find the time to take care of others. In my estimation, her care and compassion are the things that make her the most suited to win this award. With all that said, it is my pleasure to announce that the 2022 BHS Mission Statement Award winner is Lily Mooney. Lily, please come up. Continuing our tradition, the first student speech at graduation is delivered by the Mission Statement Award winner, and Lily will have that opportunity on Saturday. Congratulations, Lily. Very good. Thank you. Now, please welcome Mr. Gerard for the presentation of the staff scholarships.
All right. Welcome, everybody. The Genes for Teens Scholarship is awarded to 2 students and is 100% driven by the faculty behind me. They donate the money and provide the nominations and supporting evidence on why a student deserves this award. These 2 students show the true character and essence of being a Bulldog. Spirit of a Bulldog, which includes things such as a BHS mission, the IB learner profile, being involved in some aspect of school life, an organization, club, or team, and or being a positive influence on our school culture and climate. Please help me welcome to the stage our recipients, Lauren Christopher and Xavier Forseer. All right, now that the 2 of them are up here, I'm going to share a few words that were given to me by their teachers. So hopefully it's not too embarrassing for you too. Here's what the teachers said about Lauren. Since her freshman year, Lauren has exemplified what being a Bulldog is all about. Her kindness, positivity, and willingness to lend a helping hand to everyone is her greatest strength. She has been committed to the BHS Theater Company, spending countless long days and nights doing what she loves. Lauren has been a member of our school concert and chamber choir and was a recipient of the National Choral Award. And here are some kind words that were said about Xavier. His wit, sarcasm, intelligence, and kindness exudes. He is so interesting and fun to be around. He is a smart worker and finds time for so much joy in his life. He is truly a special kid, and we have no doubt he will change the world for the better with his heart and compassion. I'd like to congratulate both of our recipients and thank you 2 for everything you've done to help continue the positive community and work you've done here at Bedford High School. Congratulations. All right, we're going to have the faculty exit the stage. And I'm going to call next our Senior Project Awards, Mr. Zeller.
Hold on, I got a lot of stuff. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank the entire senior class. It's been a long road to bring Senior Project back. And we've heard so many wonderful things from every member of the community, from the freshmen all the way up to your grandparents to like random people who wandered in Thursday and Friday. Everyone has been so consistently impressed. And so I really want to thank all of you for bringing back Senior Project in a big way. It's a big part of what we do here, and its success depends on you. So thank you so much. We have a new Senior Project Award this year, the Bulldog AOK Award. Is nominated by the staff for the AOKs that best exemplify that line in our mission statement about exceeding our comfortable limits. Our first recipient toiled all year to make a video and then lost it all in a technical glitch the night before presentations. Yeah. Not only was the AOK itself huge and ambitious and so impressive, but the fact that he came in the next day and gave the presentation and pushed through it shows the sort of tenacity that we want from our Bulldogs as well. So the committee, the Senior Project Committee, is honored to award the very first Bulldog AOK Award to Owen Gupta. Our second recipient today signed on for a really complex project, that then became 2 or 3 more really complex projects that ended in a presentation that was in itself a really complex project. The goal, as I understood it at the beginning, was to learn how to compose music, which was completely new to the student and well outside of their comfort zone. And then somewhere along the line, they decided that this score they were composing needed a movie to go with it. And so they went ahead and made a movie about their own experience. And then they chose to share that with the crowd at their presentation. And so for doing 2 or maybe 3 enormous projects in a year that was already shorter than normal, and for daring to put themselves out there, the committee is pleased to award Kay Robillard with the Bulldog AOK Award. Every year, we also give Best Presentation Awards. These are also nominated by the faculty and staff, and we're all teachers, so it takes a lot to impress us. This award sort of does what it says on the can. It's for the best presentation. So here we go. Our first recipient impressed our audience with a presentation that was moving and deeply personal. The nominating teacher said that this was the best presentation I have ever seen. Her passion, commitment, honesty, and emotions were second to none. By the end of the presentation, there was not a dry eye in the room, even from the adults. For this moving, inspiring, and personal lesson, the committee is pleased to award the best presentation to Lily Chapman. Our second recipient was incredibly prepared for his presentation and had clearly spent a lot of time not only rehearsing, but also polishing all of the information that he included. He was thoughtful in how he put it together, and his passion for his subject showed in how he spoke on this topic. For his professionalism and polish, we are pleased to award the best presentation to Cody Kidder. We also offer awards for overall excellence. These are also nominated by the faculty and the staff, and these are the seniors that impressed with their entire journey, from their AOK choice all the way to the presentation and all of those hoops that you had to jump through in between. One of the nominating teachers explained it best for our first recipient. This project exceeded the scope of a typical BHS or IB project. Developing and executing a modified IB MUN conference in which participating delegates had the freedom to be creative as well as reserving the academic rigor that we require is a creative and innovative method of getting more students involved in the club. Alana Bauer exemplified the BHS and IB mission statements. Her presentation was very informative, engaging, and inspiring. Come on down, Alana. Unfortunately, I don't think Alana can be with us tonight. I lost my place. Our next recipient blew the staff away not only with the complexity and the mastery of his project, but his ability to explain it in a way that outsiders to this very hyper-intense domain could still understand. As anyone who has sat potentially in one of our professional development experiences, you know that teachers are very demanding students. And so the fact that this student was able to impress all of the teachers with his ability to teach them something they didn't know really says something. And that is why Noah Sussman richly deserves this award. That's okay, we know where he'll be on Saturday. And finally, the Student Choice Awards. The Student Choice Awards are nominated by all of the students, freshmen all the way through seniors. Students attended, so the faculty attends generally 6 panels. The students have to attend 10 each, so it really takes a lot to stand out from the crowd. We got nearly 300 nominations for this award, and there were two very clear winners. Our first recipient wowed the crowd with his presentation, which was polished, passionate, and according to most of the nominations, hilarious. His AOK was also very ambitious and seemed tailor-made to please our student body. Please welcome Matthew Kyle for the Student Choice Award. Our second recipient took a very deep dive into a very technical topic, and he really impressed his peers with both how deeply he understood the material and how he was able to convey both his knowledge and his passion to his peers. We are pleased to present the Student Choice Award to Tyler Jones. Thank you all.
Hello. We're presenting the National Merit Corporation finalists for Bedford High School. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation program was developed to honor the nation's scholastic champions. Initial eligibility is determined by the student's performance on the PSAT. To become a finalist, students need to complete an application providing information regarding their academic record, commitment to school involvement, community service activities, and demonstrated leadership abilities. With this, they are selected on the basis of skills, accomplishments, and potential for success in rigorous college studies. Bedford High School is proud to recognize our 5 National Merit finalists: Rachel Gearson, Abhinav Govindarahu, Michael Wong, Hasita Kaveri, and Elijah O'Brien. Are any of you here? Well, we do have something to present you. Up next is Amy Woods presenting President's Volunteer Service Awards.
So the Presidential Volunteers Award is for community service, and it should be well noted that of the 31 students who are receiving their certificates this evening, they have given over 7,000 hours of their time in community service. And so they're getting a certificate with a signed letter from the President. Here we go. Nikita Bhatt. Brooke Burke. Connor Burke. Valerie Cadogan. Akila Chopra. Elizabeth Chopra. Lauren Christopher. Sydney Caudiel. Ryan Dodge. Sophie Elliott. Abhi Gaviniraju. Alicia Junja. Lucky Kavuri. Karina La Rochelle. Sarah Letourneau. Matthew Marks. Eleora McKay. Sam McDonough. Nora McGinnis. Joe Michael. Malaka Mir. Dia Narang. Lauren Resnick. Sydney Santiago. Bryn Schneider. Emily Shue. Hannah Spires. Eric Tonneson. Ellie Tynan. Malin Wall. And Mei Zhang. And the Bulldog Pride Award will be introduced by Ms. Kim Noyes.
The Bulldog Pride Award is given to students who demonstrate perseverance through adversity, respect for their community, integrity within themselves and others, dedication to achievement and enrichment through learning. Students receiving this award have demonstrated growth and an ability to push themselves beyond their comfortable limits. The 3 recipients of the Bulldog Pride Award have been active members of the Bedford High School community by pushing themselves to achieve their goals both academically and personally. Overall, all 3 students have been inspirational to the educators of the Bedford School District, teaching us how to think differently, teach creatively, and accept all students for their dedication to personal growth. They shatter the limits of learning, finding that there is no ceiling to progress. Congratulations to Tayden Leach, Lucas Wynn, and Lorelei Rice. And I welcome back Mr. Jazokis to present the IB Learner Profile Academic Awards.
Thank you, Mrs. Noyes. The academic awards are based on the IB Learner Profile. As an IB World School, every BHS student can be recognized for developing and practicing the 10 IB Learner Profile attributes. The IB Learner Profile is an excellent standard for awarding academic honors because of the characteristics it promotes. These awards recognize students for being inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, and reflective. Each department was assigned one of the attributes, and the teachers in that department selected one senior who exemplified that attribute over the course of this school year. We will start with the business department, who is recognizing a senior for being an academic risk-taker. Please welcome Mrs. Kirby.
Good evening. The Senior IB Business Award recipient is a true risk taker. He is fully invested in learning about today's globalized business world, not just the traditional content such as finance, growth, and marketing strategies, but what should really matter to most of us as we move into the future: ethics, corporate social responsibility, and sustainability. His EE analyzed Tesla's unconventional yet highly effective zero marketing campaign. One could almost say, what marketing campaign? As he correctly pointed out, it's not about hype. It's about the genius of an environmentally sustainable product. The theme continues in his IA about Microsoft's operational practices, highlighting those that promote democracy and economic sustainability, such as supplying broadband access to rural areas that would otherwise have no access. Because this year's Senior Business Award recipient works cooperatively and independently to explore new ideas and innovative strategies, the business department is proud to present Michael Wong with our IB Business Award. And now I'd like to call Mrs. Breska Gagnon, Engineering and Computer Science Department, Reflective Award. Teacher.
Good evening. This year, the Engineering and Computer Science Department focused on celebrating reflective learners. The IB definition of this trait states that students who are reflective give thoughtful consideration to their own learning and experiences. They are able to assess and understand their strengths and limitations in order to support their learning and personal development. Mr. Fowler, Mr. Fritz, and I have all had the pleasure of working with a senior student who regularly asks questions that illuminate self-awareness of his understanding or lack thereof. He doesn't just say, "I don't get it." Rather, he promotes active conversation among his peers and teammates, helping them to share and strengthen each other's understanding. He takes time to talk with his advisor about his programs and strategies outside of class, and he's excited to share about troubleshooting code with his dad. He makes connections with the world, such as seeing how an idea that he's learning about in computer science relates to the broader world. For a small example, relating the data strategies from his Minecraft app to how Spotify might work by pulling information from a database. Throughout 4 years of advisory conversations, 2 computer science classes, a robotics class his sophomore year, and no fewer than 3 engineering classes his senior year, Matt Desmond has consistently exemplified a reflective learner. Congratulations, Matt.
You know, I didn't need these when I taught you guys. That's how old I'm getting. Okay. According to the International Baccalaureate, the knowledgeable student develops and uses conceptual understanding to explore knowledge across a range of disciplines. This student engages with issues and ideas that have local and global significance. Many of you seniors fit this criteria, and all of you are remarkable. When Mrs. Kenny, Mrs. Topf, and I were tasked with deciding who receives the senior award, we thought, what senior takes both IB English 2 and AP Lang and Composition just for the love of knowledge? And our answer came to us immediately. A self-described STEM student, this person excels in the analysis of fiction and nonfiction texts and can weave literary and rhetorical elements into essays with ease. Like choosing different outfits, she was ready for each occasion, each conversation, each experience, and she brought her insight into each class when she wasn't visiting colleges on every red day. So whether it's floating off into the ether with Space Cat or applying Stamp It to middle-aged love poetry, this student embraced whatever came her way with passion, curiosity, and a bottomless desire for new knowledge. Not only did this student study the course content, she is also a voracious reader and perpetual thinker outside of school. From drinking in the latest Louise Gluck poetry, to orchestrating a Model UN summit here at BHS, to scouring the internet for 90s wigs because her dog ate Mrs. Kenny's mullet, this student wears many hats, and it is my honor to present the IB Learner Profile Academic Award in English to Miss Alana Bauer. And I'd like to introduce Mrs. D, who is going to present the Family and Consumer Science Award. Have a good night.
As IB learners, we strive to be good communicators. Communicators express themselves confidently and creatively in more than one language and in many ways. They collaborate effectively, listening carefully to the perspective of other individuals and groups. Communication is a key element in working collaboratively with others. In a class where group work is the norm, it was great to see this strong communicator step up. He listens intently and expresses his ideas with confidence by providing constant, effective communication and leadership. He works effectively and willingly to support his group's needs. He improves the overall experience and learning, not only for himself, but for the students he works with. It is with great pleasure that I present the Communications Award to Ethan Girali. Next up to present is mathematics with Miss Amy Beth Phillips.
And I brought Mr. Milne and Mrs. Taylor with me. Okay, the student who was selected for this year's Senior Math Award is a deeply thoughtful individual who always considers not just the solution to complex problems, but the path towards that solution. They were often willing to take the initiative to share that process with the class, which was often a creative approach and typically led to a correct solution. They also actively listened to other classmates' approaches and were willing to learn from these varied approaches. Their reasoning skills are exceptional and were fully demonstrated in every single class. I am honored to award Sydney Santiago the 2002 Mathematics IB Thinker Award. Next to present the Music and Fine Arts Award is Jamie DeVita.
This year, the Fine Arts Department was tasked with choosing students who exhibit the learner profile of principled. Principled students act with integrity and honesty, and they have a strong sense of fairness and justice. They have a respect for the dignity and rights of people everywhere. The senior that the Music and Fine Arts Department would like to award tonight is someone who has proven to have a thoughtful, kind, and modest nature throughout the entire year. And I'm new here, but as described to me, the entire 4 years here. After discussing so many things that this talented artist, vocalist, actor, and performer has accomplished this year, Mrs. Hogan emphasized to me that she felt this student's most notable contribution to the IB Art 2 class was pioneering daily check-ins. This student showed such genuine care for the other students and teachers in the room that he made it a point to ask everybody periodically how they were doing, did they need anything. And this created such a positive environment, connected all of the IB students, and overall made it a great class. I can only imagine the scale of the impact he has made in other areas of his life and will continue to make in the future. It is my pleasure to award the Senior Principal Learner Profile Award to Xavier Forseer. Next up, presenting the Science Award is Martha Pond.
I am a poor substitute for Ms. Bainey, who became ill and is unfortunately unable to be here tonight. However, I think it is highly appropriate that the Science Award goes to an inquirer, because an inquirer nurtures their curiosity, developing skills for inquiry and research. They know how to learn independently and with others. They learn with enthusiasm and sustain their love of learning throughout life. The Senior Science Award recipient was nominated by several science teachers. It goes to a student that has always asked questions and strived to understand, not just for herself, but to help her classmates as well. She contributed to a class culture of inquiry and encouraged others when they were struggling. Congratulations to Olivia Fitzgerald. And I'd like to introduce Ms. Emily Hartman.
Good evening, students, families, BHS faculty, and administration. My name is Emily Hartman. I am proud to be one of BHS's social studies teachers. As an IB school, we embrace the IB learner profile and its 10 attributes that help our students become responsible, local, and global citizens. This year, the Social Studies Department Award is based on the attribute of caring. As caring individuals, we show empathy, compassion, and respect. We have a commitment to service, and we act to make positive difference in the lives of others and the world around us. This year's Social Studies Award recipient exemplifies this attribute. They have been an invaluable member of the Unleashed editorial staff, handling difficult subject matter with maturity and grace. They readily and enthusiastically volunteered to help run a book club at McKelvey Intermediate School for a group of avid 5th grade readers. For their senior project, they coordinated a drive for a woman's shelter. Not just any shelter. Thorough research was conducted to determine the rural New Hampshire shelter with the greatest need. In my own classroom, they have been a role model for their peers, fostering an inclusive learning environment, always welcoming others to join in and finding ways to weave their varied perspectives of fellow classmates into the end product or presentation. A fellow colleague in the humanities department stated that the student has always demonstrated empathy, compassion, and most importantly, respect in every interaction they have had with them. Please join me in congratulating this year's Caring Social Studies Award recipient, Seneca Baldi. I would like to introduce to the stage Heather Wardwell, who will be giving tonight's World Language Award.
Good evening. So world language is responsible for finding the student that represents open-mindedness. This student is enchanted with learning languages and cultures. She was not able to begin her study of a world language in middle school, yet she was determined when she entered high school to be successful in language acquisition. She persevered to study independently in order to reach the HL level, year 5, before graduating. She is open-minded to her methods of studying the material and settled in her own way, which is to play with the language on her own before checking in with others and me. She introspectively works on finding meaning from the author and what it means to her, offering her own perspective. Then she listens to others and negotiates meaning of the language with her peers to find common ground and interpretation of the text at hand. There is never enough time for this student to discuss language, the power of words, cultural artifacts, and cool bits of history. She reads all kinds of materials and shares her findings with me, her peers, and has even joined a research group at UNH to explore literature and stories in the target language. She tends to major in classics and Latin, the language which she has been studying at BHS, and become a world language teacher herself. She has spread her joy and enthusiasm in Latin Club all 4 years and in Latin Honor Society, of which she has been a dedicated leader this year. The world needs more language lovers and cultural enthusiasts like Lillian Wade. Congratulations, Lillian.
We'll now turn to the presentation of honors. The presentation of honors recognizes students for achievements as leaders in academics and in areas of school life that they are passionate about. We will begin by recognizing the senior class officers. First, please welcome one of the class of 2022 advisors, Mrs. Bennett.
This year's senior class officers were an incredible group. On the outside, they planned spirit weeks, pep rallies, dances, and prom. But even more important than that, they listened to their peers and advocated for their needs and wants to ensure they all had a great year. I'm so proud of all they were able to accomplish this year and cannot wait to hear about all that they will accomplish as they move on into the world. Please come up as I call your name. Officer at Large, Marie Flynn. Community Senator, Avi Goldman. Public Relations, Leo Saldana. Fundraiser, Victoria Falvey. CEO, George Tatakis. Vice President, Andrew Zimmerman. President Parker Henrichon. And next up, we have Ann Lederhose to introduce the Art Honor Society.
Good evening. The National Art Honor Society members are responsible for adding beautiful and meaningful art to the school and community through their efforts. A few of their activities include our Empty Bowls fundraiser in November, paint night in the winter, and ceiling tiles that adorn classrooms for favorite teachers and staff. I've been honored to be their advisor. So would my officers come up first? President Mei Zhang, Vice President Lily Mooney, Publicity Chair Ashley Babotis, and Activity Coordinator Olivia Keys. Okay, why don't you give out the cards and I'll do it. Okay, when your name is called, please come up to get your honor cord. Brooke Burke, Nikki Harden, Marissa Johnson, Eliana Lebrecht, Megan Leiden, Bryn Schneider, Ariana Steinbrook, Elizabeth Hansen, Mia Kashabawara, Claire Kramer, Eliora McKay, Joe Michael, Isabella Naon, Lindsay Pelletier, Jake Savini, Shanti Sharma, and Abby Williams. Sorry. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jim. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. And now I'd like to introduce Matt Gerard for the Diploma of Distinction.
There he is. Okay, the Diploma of Distinction is awarded to students who earn a 3.8 GPA or higher. We will ask that you hold your applause until we get through all the chords. There are many. So when your name is called, come right up, grab your cord, and move back to your seat. Ready, guys? Marilyn Abbott, Catherine Arend, Shay Olson, Hiba Babar, Cameron Badger, Seneca Baldi, Alana Bauer, Daniel Ben, Nikita Bott, Dylan Black, Ashley Babotis, Isabella Brothers, Kira Brown, Brooke Burke, Lindsay Butts, Valerie Cadugan, Anna Caldwell, Lindsay Campbell, Adam Carroll, Lillian Chapman, Andrew Chen, Vanessa Chen, Akalish Chopra, Elizabeth Chopra, Grace Chopra, Sean Clow, Gianna Corby, Hannah Dombach, Christopher Delisle, Jack Dermody, Maximilian Giovanni, Ryan Dodge, Derek Dong, Nicholas Dulac, Maribel L. Shafoun, Christy Elliott, Sophie Elliott, Victoria Falvey, Daniel Fernandez Sarando, Sophia Fiegler, Sophia Florian, Abigail Forrester, Elliot Frank, Ainsley Gagney, Sydney Gagney, Daniel Galamaga, Ethan Girali, Rachel Gerson, Fiona Gilia, Julia Giroux, Avi Goldman, Noah Goldman, Delaney Goturch, Abhinav Govind Diraju, Eric Gregory, Owen Gupta, Prasan Gurung, Megan Hall, Nicole Harden, Taylor Haydam, Patrick Heng, Parker Henrishon, Jack Hinks, Michael Huang, Avery Houghton, Riley Hudson, Hanya Jalili, Sarah Jobin, Marissa Johnson, Tyler Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. That was the first half. Congratulations. So now for the second half of the Diploma of Distinction, Amelia McGay, Matthew Marks, Delaney Martell, Ella Marks, Eleora McKay, Miles McComb, Samuel McDonough, Nora McGinnis, Isabel McStowe, Charlotte Mello, Lindsay Mello, Alexandra Mendoza, Sarah Murray, Joseph Michael, Emily Miller, Malika Mir, Andre Mistrick, Lily Mooney, Safia Mumpini, Dia Narang, Julia Neef, Kayla Noonan, Elijah O'Brien, Kaylee O'Connell, Todd O'Connell, Benjamin Oakes, Taylor Oster, Zihan Pan, Lindsay Pelletier, Nicole Pepin, Matthew Plukin, Alicia Rain, Lauren Resnick, Kaylee Robillard, Armand Rouleau, Sydney Santiago, Megan Seidel, Jacob Savini, Nabil Sharif, Yash Sharma, Emily Shoup, Ava Smith, Hannah Spires, Ariana Steinbrook, Richa Thapa, Caroline Twite, Malie Olker, Karin Vanusefi, Lillian Wade, Malin Wall, James Wang, Abigail Williams, Joel Walensky, Lily Yandow, Michelle Yu, Mei Zhang, and last but not least, Andrew Zimmerman. Oh.
Do you want to do it or you want me to?
Go ahead.
And then you're going to introduce Joyce.
Oh, yeah, then I'll introduce him.
Okay, we missed the J's, K's, and L's. Sorry, guys. Alicia Juneja, Mia Kashiwabara, Emma Kazajansky, Forrest Kerr, Olivia Keys, Hasita Covery, Claire Kramer, Adam LaCroix, Nick LaCroix, Karina La Rochelle, Olivia Laquan, Sarah Laterno, Margaret Lewis, and Gabriel Lucy.
All right, congratulations. Now I would like to welcome to the stage the president of the Film Honor Society, my friend, your friend, Finnegan Joyce.
Oh, I'm going to bring up my board to do that. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Hi. The Bedford High School Film Honor Society members excel in both film studies and filmmaking. They have shown outstanding leadership and organizational skills on film production teams that led to exceptional work. As president of the Film Honor Society, I would like to welcome the rest of the board to assist in handing out stoles. Emily Shoup as the vice president, Andrew Chen, secretary, Isabel McGinty, treasurer, Dylan Belrose, historian, and Owen Bresnahan, publicity. I would like to now introduce the rest of the Film Honor Society to come and accept their stoles, please. Shay Olson, Tyler Beekman, Colin Chandonnet, Cade Corbett, Eric Gregory, Amanda Hagstrom, Claire Kramer, Lindsay Mello, Haley Salas, and Peyton Wallace. I would like to thank the rest of my fellow students and filmmakers for taking the risks and giving themselves to promote themselves, and the film program at Bedford High School. Thank you all. I'd also like to introduce the French Honor Society and Madame Hackenberg of the French Honor Society.
Bonsoir. My name is Chandra Hackenberg, and I am a French teacher here at BHS and also advisor to the French Honor Society. La Société Honoraire de Français is a national organization which recognizes academic excellence in the study of French. The aim of this organization is to develop an understanding of Francophone culture, to reward scholastic achievements, and to promote international friendship. Each of our French Honor Society seniors has made a significant contribution to the French department at BHS. We are especially proud of these seniors who joined the French Honor Society last year when there was so much interruption and change, and who, despite all of these challenges, continue to participate in spreading the love of the French language and culture. The enthusiasm for French was especially apparent in their engaging lessons that they created for middle schoolers. This year, they also helped to organize the International Breakfast and welcome international students to BHS. Thank you for organizing and feeding such a huge group of hungry students. Merci beaucoup, les seniors. Vous allez nous manquer. I would first like to call to the stage our two officers, Lindsay Pelletier and Ava Smith. And I would also like to call to the stage the rest of our members, Hiba Babar, Valerie Cadigan, Maribel El-Shufun, Abigail Forrester, Eliora McKay, Malika Mir, Kaylee Robillard, Sydney Santiago, Emily Shoup, Karen Vandasufi, and Malin Wall. Félicitations. Merci beaucoup. And I would now like to introduce Steph Nichols, who will be presenting the International Baccalaureate Diploma.
Good evening, class of 2022. I'm so excited to be here tonight to celebrate all of your hard work, perseverance, and academic accomplishments. It's my pleasure tonight to recognize the IB Diploma class of 2022. As I'm sure almost every speaker this weekend will reference, the circumstances of your high school career were unique and at times seemingly insurmountable. But like my favorite BHS hallway mini mural and Tupac reminds us every day, even when you're fed up, you gotta keep your head up. And keep your heads up you did. A global pandemic couldn't stop you. Half of your sophomore year in front of a screen couldn't stop you. 1,000 schedule permutations your junior year didn't stop you. The senior slide might have almost gotten some of you, but here you all are. 10 plus IB courses, a 4,000-word extended essay, 2 semesters of solipsism nightmares from TOK, and a CAS project later, you are all celebrating this incredible academic accomplishment, but also, and I think most importantly, your stick-with-itness. Grit, perseverance, diligence, persistence, and moxie, as Mr. Cannon would want me to say. You might not remember everything you have learned, but you will never forget that you know how to learn and how to be critical of the world around you. Let this medal be a symbol of that, a reminder of how far perseverance can really take you. And I'll now call you up for your medals. Nikita Bhatt, Valerie Kadugan, Akhilesh Chopra, Maximilian Di Giovanni, Ryan Dodge, Daniel Fernandez Sarando, Elliot Frank, Rachel Gerson, Abhinav Govindaraju, Taylor Haydam, Michael Wong, Avery Houghton, Alicia Junaja, Emma Kazajansky, Olivia Keys, Hazita Kovori, Margaret Lewis, Matthew Marks, Malika Mir, Lily Mooney, Dia Narang, Lindsay Pelletier, Sydney Santiago, Megan Seidel, Yash Sharma, Ethan Vitale, Lillian Wade, Michelle Yu, and Mei Zhang. Congratulations. A few more. All right, and next up is the International Thespian Society and Mr. Chizovsky.
Good evening. Congratulations, graduates. My name is Evan Chizovsky, and it is my distinct honor to be the director of the Bedford High School Theater Company. I'm so proud to call this theater company my theater family. No one in this audience is more familiar with this stage than the students of the Bedford High School Theater Company. Theater has in it something for everyone. What you see on stage when you're here as an audience member is a fraction of what's going on in the production. There's people backstage doing lights, sound, working props, making sure that everything is running smoothly, and then the actors on stage are doing a tremendous job. You know that adage that says when you read a book, you explore different worlds? We take that a step further, and we create those worlds, and we live in them. Ours is an art form that is momentary, it's fleeting, blink, and it's gone. But what's been created in that moment by these students is nothing less than magic. What my good friend Bill Shakespeare likes to say is, all the world's a stage, and as you leave Bedford High School, that world as a stage will be yours, and you'll make it your own. In recognition of the long hours of rehearsals and performances, these students have been inducted into the International Thespian Society. The following students: Hannah Bennett, Marshall Feldman, Sophia Figler, Elliot Frank, Maggie Lewis, and Eric Tonison. Come on down, please.
But wait, there's more. For those students who have gone way above and beyond and been in multiple and many productions, they have achieved the Honor Thespian designation for the Thespian Society. Those students are Owen Bresnahan, Lauren Christopher, Molly Crowder, Sid Ellis, Xavier Forseer, Zach Harrington, Finn Joyce, Izzy McGinty, Emily Shoup, Riley Skinner, Eliz Stalker, Caroline Twite, and Tucker Yüksel. Come on down. Congratulations, thespians. And next up for the Latin Honor Society is Magistra Wardwell.
Congratulations, everyone. So first, I'd like to honor the officers of the National Latin Honor Society and have them stay up here and help me pass out the cords. Could Lillian Wade, Ainsley Gagney, Alicia Rain, and Dan Galamaga come on up? I forgot to mention that in order to get into the National Latin Honor Society, you have to have a high average in Latin and also be an active member of Latin Club. You guys ready? Mary Abbott. Mary Abbott, are you here? Cam Badger. Connor Burke. Anna Caldwell. Jenna Charlotte. Elizabeth Chopra. That's better. Christy Elliott. Megan Hall. Nikki Harden, Michael Huang, Mia Kashiwabara. You okay, Megan? Yeah. Karina La Rochelle, Gabe Lucy, Amelia Magay, Delaney Martell, Charlotte Mello, Tori Peterson, Jake Savini, Eric Tonninson, and Michelle Yu. Congratulations. Oh, and I forgot one, Brooke Burke. How did I leave her off the list? I'll go get a cord for her. Sorry, Brooke. And next, I'd like to invite Miss Woods to come up for the MST Honor Society.
So the Manchester School of Technology offers opportunities for students to learn in different professions and trades. They are there for 2 years, in some cases 3, depending on their programming, and they both get completer certificates for sure. So I have some of those for some of us who weren't at the Manchester School of Technology last week. And I also have 3 students who have earned honor cords in their chosen fields. In order to receive MST honors, you have to get A's in 7 of the 8 quarters that you are there. And so I have cords for Mr. Chaz Bedard, Ms. Tamron Seeley, who also received a scholarship to Michaels, and Ellie Tynan. And then if the following students are here, I would love to give them their certificate of achievement. JJ Crespo. Drew Filto. Amanda Hagstrom. Reed Nelson. Michael Remick. And then Matthew Ranich. And finally, Kayla Ware. I will find them tomorrow. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to welcome Ms. Tony Taylor and Ms. Amy Beth Phillips for the Math Honor Society.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I first want to recognize our amazing set of officers from this past year who did an amazing job, and they're going to come help us out a little bit up here, too. So, Andrew and Aki and Matt and Dan, can you guys come on up, please? Thank you. These guys were the most amazing officers. They were incredibly organized and had some amazing ideas for activities and things for the group. And don't run away, because this guy here is going to introduce the rest of the members. Congratulations, you guys.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Zimmerman, and I'm the president of Mu Alpha Theta. And tonight I'll be presenting the chords for Math Honor Society. So please come on stage when I call your name. First up, we have Marilyn Abbott. Hiba Babar. Seneca Baldi. Nikita Bott. Isabella Brothers. Kira Brown. Lindsay Butts. Anna Caldwell, Lindsay Campbell, Aki Chopra, who's right here, Hannah Dombach, Jack Dermody, Ryan Dodge, Derek Dong, Nicholas Dulac, Christy Elliott, Victoria Falvey, Daniel Fernandez, Elliot Frank, Sydney Gagny, Vice President Daniel Galamaga, Fiona Gillis, Noah Goldman, Avi Goldman, Delaney Goterch, Abhinav Govindraju, Eric Gregory, Owen Gupta, Nicole Harden, Taylor Hayden, Parker Henrishon, Michael Huang, Avery Houghton, Alicia Janeja, Emma Kazajansky, Olivia Keys, Lucky Kavuri, Nicholas LaCroix, Karina Larichelle, Sarah Laterno, Maggie Lewis, Gabriel Lucy, Matthew Marks, right here, Eliora McKay, Isabel McStowe, Sarah Merhi, Lindsay Mello, Charlotte Mello, Alexandra Mendoza, Malika Mir, Lily Mooney, Dia Narang, Julia Neef, Kayla Noonan, Elijah O'Brien, Taylor Oster, Nicole Pepin, Joey Piacentini, Alicia Rainey, Leo Saldana, Sydney Santiago, Megan Seidel, Nabil Sharif, Ava Smith, Hannah Spires, Ariana Steinbrook, Caroline Twite, Karin Van Yusefi, Joelle Walensky, Abigail Williams, Michelle Yu, Mei Zhang, and me. Thank you. Yeah. Congratulations, everybody, and go Celtics.
Now I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Scott Milne and Miss Jessica Doyle from the National Honor Society.
Hi, everybody. We are going to get right to it. So I would like to recognize our officers for NHS this year. I'm going to call these 5 ladies down, and then we'll give them a round of applause. President Taylor Hayden, Vice President Isabella Brothers, Secretary Sydney Santiago, Treasurer Avery Houghton, and Historian Riley Hudson. Now I'd like to recognize our NHS members. I'm going to do this rapid fire, so if we could hold all applause to the end, that would be fantastic. First up, Mary Abbott, Hiba Babar, Seneca Baldi, Alana Bauer, Julian Bell, Danny Ben, Nikita Bott, Ashley Babodis, Kira Brown, Brooke Burke, Connor Burke, Lindsay Butts, Valerie Cadogan, Anna Caldwell, Lindsay Campbell, Lillian Chapman, Akhilesh Chopra, Elizabeth Chopra, Grace Chopra, Olivia Klein, Hannah Dombach, Krista Lyle, Jack Dermody, Ryan Dodge, Nicholas Dulock, Christy Elliott, Daniel Fernandez Serrando, Sophia Figler, Bailey Fleming, Sophia Florian, Abigail Forrester, Elliot Frank, Ainsley Gagney, Jaden Gangwer, Rachel Gerson, Fiona Gillis, Avi Goldman, Noah Goldman, Delaney Goterch, Owen Gupta, Elizabeth Hansen, Nicole Harden, Zachary Harrington, Parker Henrishon, Michael Wang, Harrison One, Marissa Johnson, Tyler Jones, Ryan Giuliano, Alicia Junija, Emma Kazjansky, Ethan Kemp, Olivia Keys, Lucky Kavuri, Claire Kramer, Eliana Labreche, Adam LaCroix, Nicholas LaCroix, Karina La Rochelle, Olivia Laquan, Sarah Laterno, Maggie Lewis, Megan Leiden, Gabriel Lucy, Amelia McGay, Matthew Marks, Delaney Martell, Eliora McKay, Miles McCombs, Sam McDonough, Isabella McGovern, Nora McGinnis, Isabel McStowe, Charlotte Mello, Lindsay Mello, Alexandra Mendoza, Sarah Murphy, Joseph Michael, Malika Mir, Lily Mooney, Safia Mumpini, Tara Naftali, Dia Narang, Julia Neef, TJ O'Connell, Taylor Oster, Nicole Pepin, Nolette Perry, Joey Piacentini, Alicia Rain, Leo Saldana, Haley Salas, Evan Schmidt, Megan Seidel, Jacob Savini, Yash Sharma, Emily Shoup, Ava Smith, Hannah Spires, Alex Steffens, Ariana Steinbrook, Richa Tapa, Wyatt Thompson, Eric Tonneson, Caroline Twite, Ellie Tynan, Curran Vandusefi, Ethan Vitale, Lillian Wade, Malin Wall, James Wang, Joelle Walensky, Abigail Williams, Ashlyn Wilshire, Michelle Yu, Mei Zhang, and Andrew Zimmerman. And now let's clap. All right, now we're going to welcome back Matt Gerard and Kim Noyes for some New Hampshire scholars.
Okay, New Hampshire scholars are high school students who have pledged to complete the State Scholars Core Course of Study, a specific sequence of academic courses. These students have completed 4 years in English, 4 years of math, 3 years of science, 3.5 years of social studies, and 2 years of a world language. For the STEM New Hampshire Scholar Awards, there's additional requirements. For the Art New Hampshire Scholar Awards, there's additional requirements. And for the STEAM New Hampshire Scholar Awards, this is for students who have completed both requirements for both STEM and art. We're going to go through the name. Again, hold the applause for the end. I'll read the first half, all of my sheets, and Mr. Gerard will read the second half. Marilyn Abbott, Ghassan Abdulrida, Catherine Arend, Shay Alson. Come on up. Hiba Babar, Cameron Badger, Benjamin Bahok, Seneca Baldi, Alana Bauer, Joshua Beaton, Tyler Beekman, Julian Bell, Dylan Belrose, Daniel Ben, Hannah Bennett, Madison Berry, Nikita Bott, Dylan Black, Ashley Babodis, Victor Bonhorst, Owen Bresnahan, Jacob Brisson, Isabella Brothers, Kyra Brown, Aiden Birch, Brooke Burke, Connor Burke, Lindsay Butts, Valerie Cadogan, Anna Caldwell, Lindsay Campbell, Adam Carroll, Aiden Carroll, Annette Carter, Sierra Shagnon French, Colin Chandonnet, Lillian Chapman, Jenna Charlotte, Ishika Chatterjee, Andrew Chen, Vanessa Chen, Akhilesh Chopra, Elizabeth Chopra, Grace Chopra, Lauren Christopher, Owen Christopher, Olivia Klein, Sean Clow, Cade Corbett, Gianna Corby, Molly Crowder, Hannah Dombach, Christopher Delisle, Jack Dermody, Matthew Desmond, Andrew Dixon, Maximilian DiGiovanni, Zachary Dion, Allison Dixon, Ryan Dodge, Derek Dong, Cole Duplessis, Hunter Ducharme, Nicholas Dulac, Maribel El Shafoun, Christy Elliott, Sophie Elliott, Sid Ellis, Michael Irwin, Victoria Falvey, Alan Fenn, Daniel Fennessy, Daniel Fernandez Sarando, Sophia Figler, Salvatore Finocchiaro, Isabel Fisher, Olivia Fitzgerald, Bailey Fleming, Sophia Florian, Maria Flynn, Xavier Forseer, Abigail Forrester, Taylor Freitzel, Elliot Frank, Olivia Frangillo, Ainsley Gagney, Sydney Gagney, Igor Gagushin, Daniel Galamaga, Jaden Gangwar, Kiliana Gardner, Ethan Girali, Rachel Gerson, Fiona Gillis, Julia Giroux, Avi Goldman, Noah Goldman, Joseph Gorham, Delaney Goturch, Abhinav Govin Daraju, Lily Grand, Aiden Graves, Eric Gregory, Elijah Gregson, Cameron Grenier, Andrew Grandinskis, Benjamin Girton, Hannah Gilmet, Owen Gupta, Prasna Garang, Amanda Hagstrom, Megan Hall, Elizabeth Hansen, Nicole Harden, Kiefer Harding, Owen Hasty, Taylor Haydam, Cameron Healy, Patrick Heng, Parker Henrishon, Caitlin Hurst, Jack Hinks, Quinn Hinsley, Michael Huang, Avery Houghton, Shaylin Hovey, Riley Hudson, Molly Hughes, Harrison One, Hanaya Jalili, Elizabeth Jameson, Bassam Jongir, Sarah Jobin, Andrew Johnson, Marissa Johnson, Samantha Johnson, Tyler Jones, Ryan Joswick, Finn Joyce, Ryan Giuliano, Alicia Janasia, Mia Kashiwabara, Emma Kazajansky, Ethan Kemp, Forrest Kerr, Olivia Keys, Cody Kidder, Kaylee Kirjak, Lucky Kavori, Claire Kramer. We can do an applause while Mr. Gerard comes up for the second half.
All right, here we go, second half. Vibhu Krishnaswamy, Donald Kyle, Eliana Labresh, Ryan Labrie, Adam LaCroix, Nicholas LaCroix, Megan Landry, Matthew Lipinski, Ethan LaRochelle, Karina LaRochelle, Olivia Laquan, Caitlin LeMay, Sarah Laterno, Margaret Lewis, Megan Leiden, Zachary Love, Zoe Love, Gabriel Lucy, Dylan McLeod, Amelia McGay, Casey Mahoney, Cameron Mandeville, Matthew Marks, Delaney Martell, Ella Marks, Aaron McCarthy, Eleora McKay, Miles McComb, Malcolm McDonough, Samuel McDonough, Andrew McGee, Colleen McGee, Isabel McGinty, Nora McGinnis, Isabel McStowe, Charlotte Mello, Lindsay Mello, Alexandra Mendoza, Sarah Marhi, Joseph Michael, Emily Miller, Malika Mir, Andre Mistrick, Lily Mooney, Luke Moores, Safia Mumpini, Ryan Murray, Jacob Musgrave, Taryn Naftali, Dia Narang, Caitlin Neal, Julia Neef, Reed Nelson, Kayla Noonan, Elijah O'Brien, Kaylee O'Connell, Todd O'Connell, Daniel O'Connor, Finn O'Neill, Benjamin Oakes, Taylor Oster, Zihan Pan, Nicholas Pellerin, Lindsay Pelletier, Jack Pendleton, Catherine Pennick, Nicole Pepin, Brandon Perrin, Nolette Perry, Victoria Peterson, Joseph Piacentini, Matthew Plukin, Samuel Ravenel, Alicia Rain, Lauren Resnick, Thomas Rice, Nicholas Richard, Kaylee Robillard, Cole Rodman, Jordan Rodman, Ketlin Rodriguez, Armand Rulo, Leo Saldana, Haley Salas, Sydney Santiago, Bryn Schneider, Tamron Seeley, Megan Seidel, Scott Senator, Jacob Savini, Nabil Sharif, Shanti Sharma, Yash Sharma, Tufik Shoker, Emily Shoup, Nicholas Sylvia, Riley Skinner, Ava Smith, Hannah Spires, Giselle Stake, Elizabeth Stalker, Magnus Steele, Alexandra Steffens, Ariana Steinbrook, Elijah Stevenson, Benjamin Sullivan, Samantha Sullivan, Sydney Swazo, Noah Sussman, George Tatakis, Richa Thapa, Luke Thibodeau, Robert Thompson, Wyatt Thompson, Shaylin Toombs, Eric Tonneson, Owen Tranchmontaine, Philip Toscano, Caroline Twite, Elizabeth Tynan, Malie Oker, Karen Vande Yousefi, Joshua Villeneuve, Ethan Vitale, Matthew Vranick, Lillian Wade, Malin Wall, Elliot Wallace, Peyton Wallace, James Wang, Kayla Ware, Evan Watson, Jackson Whitehead, Matthew Whiting, Joel Walensky, Abigail Williams, Ashlyn Wilshire, Kylie Woloski, Lily Yandow, Michelle Yu, Ibrahim Zaka, Mei Zhang, Tarek Ziada, Andrew Zimmerman, and Owen Zool. Now please welcome to the stage Science National Honor Society, Dean of STEM, Martha Pond.
Again, I'm standing in for Ms. Bainey to congratulate the first graduating class of the Bedford chapter of the Science National Honor Society. This is the first year of the Bedford chapter of the Science National Honor Society. So come to the stage, please, to receive your cord. Hiba Babara, Lindsay Campbell, Akhilesh Chopra, Elizabeth Chopra, Bailey Fleming, Elliot Frank, Nicole Harden, Michael Huang, Matthew Marks, Nicole Pepin, Alicia Rain, Abigail Williams, and Andrew Zimmerman. Congratulations. And I'd like to welcome to the stage Senora Orrego for the seal of biliteracy.
Good evening. I am representing Melissa Sarsfield, who is our Seal of Biliteracy Coordinator. This award is given by the state in recognition of the celebration of our bilingual and multilingual students who demonstrate a high level of proficiency in English and at least one other world language by high school graduation. Our Seal of Biliteracy program actually just was approved in March 2022. And several BHS students immediately accepted the challenge of testing their language proficiencies. We are very proud to give out our first Seal of Biliteracy Award to Vanessa Chen. All right. I'm also going to do our National Spanish Honor Society. So could I have Bella Brothers and Risha Tapa come on up? Okay, so Isabella and Risha accepted the challenge to lead their peers in the Francisco Jimenez chapter of the Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica by serving as officers. And we will be recognizing them with the presentation of a stole and a cord. And now for our Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica seniors, you're receiving a cord tonight, along with our invitation to continue pursuing a better understanding of the Spanish language and culture. Please come up and receive your cord as your name is called. And I'm going to start with the end of the alphabeto. Andrew Zimmerman, Mei Zhang, Abby Williams, Ariana Steinbrook, Hannah Spires, Megan Seidel, Taylor Oster, Taryn Naftali, Lily Mooney, Sarah Murphy, Isabella McStowe, Nora McGinnis, Matthew Marks, Gabe Lucy, Maggie Lewis, Nicholas LaCroix, Lucky Kavuri, Olivia Keys, Emma Kazajansky, Alicia Junija, Riley Hudson, Avery Houghton, Taylor Haydam, Owen Gupta, Eric Gregory, Delaney Gochurch, Noah Goldman, Abby Goldman, Sydney Gagney, Elliot Frank, Sophia Florian, Victoria Falvey, Ryan Dodge, Jack Dermody, Christopher Delisle, Hannah Dumbach, Grace Chopra, Aki Chopra, Lily Chapman, Ashley Babotas, Nikita Bhatt, Alana Bauer, Seneca Baldi, Shay Olson, Catherine Arend. All right, I'd like to welcome Sarah Heron to the stage.
Good evening. It was loud. We are very fortunate to have so many students here at BHS who are eligible and inducted into the Tri-M Music Honor Society. The three M's in Tri-M stand for Modern Music Makers. The purpose of this organization is to inspire music participation, create enthusiasm for scholarship, stimulate a desire to help others, and promote leadership in the music students of secondary schools. On behalf of Mrs. Graham, the chapter advisor who is out on maternity leave, I would like to honor the Tri-M seniors who have fulfilled their required hours of music participation and service with a pink cord, and those who dedicated at least 90 hours of service and musical participation over their years as members with a white stole. So when I call your name, please come to the stage. Mary Abbott, Vanessa Chen, Lauren Christopher, Max Di Giovanni, Derek Dong, Christy Elliott, Dan Fernando Sarando, Sophie Figler, Elliot Frank, Megan Hall, Jack Hanks, Tyler Jones, Amelia McGay, Riley Skinner, Ela Stalker, Ben Sullivan, Joelle Walensky, and Michelle Yu. Elliot Frank is the new record holder for having over 400 hours of music participation and service. So he's getting this special Tri-M medal. And I would now like to invite Mr. Jazokis back up to the stand. Thank you.
All right, we're close, folks. I first want to say that the DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution presenter we were hoping was going to make it tonight. She was unable to be here. Malika Mir would have been called on stage to get that award. Please give her a round of applause. And Malika will have your DAR award at the main office tomorrow. All right, presentation of the class gift. Please welcome back to the stage your class officers for the presentation of the class gift.
The BHS Class of 2022 Student Council has decided to leave a lasting mark on the school by donating a, drumroll please, full coffee bar. And what? And some bumper balls. Thank you.
You may have seen that. It's a coffee station in the library. If you take a look, it's in the corner of the library. It's all set up now. All right, thank you, class officers. Seniors, you are very deserving of everything you received tonight. As I mentioned earlier, you've put in 12 years of hard work and are very ready to be successful adults. All of us are proud of your accomplishments, and you should be proud of yourselves too. To all of you watching, thanks for tuning in. Seniors, we'll see you tomorrow at 12:15 on the field for our final graduation practice. Good night, everybody.